everybody. I'm Jennifer Ballack, Executive Director at Kindred Place, and want to welcome you to our May series about mindfulness. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we have my friend David Quarles here, hello, to talk to us about mindfulness in our spaces, mindfulness at home. We're going to talk about self-care on a budget, and we're going to talk about mindfulness in our work environments. Today is our first segment in our mindfulness series, again for Mental Health Awareness Month. Welcome, David. Thanks for being here. Oh, great. How are you doing today?
Excited.
Okay. When somebody starts out and wanting to craft a space in their home, you're coming in fresh. What are some of the things that you look for in a space that tell you that it is reflective of an intention behind the space?
I think that the best way of answering this is I like to, and this is like from a little bit of a reflection from a question that I was asked out of town when I was wanting to plan my day. And the person that I was speaking to asked me, well, what emotion do you want to feel on the day? It's like, wait a minute. Then that makes you think. And of course you want to be happy. And so you kind of plan your whole activity and thought process around being happy. So the same thing with curating spaces. I like to ask the client, like, how do you want this room to feel? What colors may make you tick? Just anything that lets them know that, okay, like this is going to be the space that we're going to really curate the emotion that you want to feel. And so I kind of start off with that. Just basically how they want the space to feel and how they want to feel in it.
Man, I heard all this gray hair and nobody has ever said to me, how do you want your space to feel? It's such a great question about what feeling you want to have when you are in the kitchen cooking dinner or having dinner or going to sleep and waking up every day. It's such a great question. I would imagine that it might be would be an unexpected question for people to think about. And so are there prompts that you give people when you think about how do you want to feel in this space? If somebody said, I don't know, I never thought about it, where would you send them? How do you cultivate mindfulness in your space?
Well, one thing that I do, and like part of my intake form, and so to even get to the point of a consultation, you have to fill out a questionnaire. And so online, that is one of the initial questions. So you at least have a little bit of time to think about it. It's what inspires you, what colors do you like, what colors do you need to stay away from, and things like questions about emotions. So then that way I can get to it while they're in the comfort of their own home, and they can have time to reflect before we get together. And so then we can expound upon whatever they may have shared on like the form, and then we kind of just really talk that out in person. And so I like to, from the jump, kind of get it there, but it's in a way to where they can think about it again by themselves and they don't feel the pressure to say what emotion that they want to feel. I think everyone wants to feel excited or calm or re-energized. Yeah. And so that is how I started off. That's how we started our relationship working together.
Awesome. What are some things that people can do to bring calmness into a space?
Even if it's not in your budget to bring in an interior designer, because it's very much, that is an investment. And I think that regardless of your budget, you should still be able to experience a level of calm in your house. So it doesn't have to be bringing in an interior designer. It could be, I always like to start with tidying up. So if you have a space where everything is in its place, or at least looks like, it's put together, then that's fine. That is something that for me personally brings a lot of calm. I know I can't think in my house if like something is just out of place or like if I need to just clean up. And so you have to think about that, like the way that things smell in your home, the arrangement, even just, I would say, lighting a candle, doing something, just bringing in plants. That's another thing. Now that is not...
You're big on plants.
Yeah. It's not no cost or low cost. It can be low cost, I will say, because there are some like really neat places around Memphis where you can get I think just some of the biggest plants for maybe $5.
Wow.
And then you can always go to IKEA and go to their the as is. And so if you want to try out your green thumb, that can be something that is as therapeutic as it is like bringing the calm into your space. So I like doing that, like just rearranging, tidying up, or if you need to, bring in a plant, bring in a candle. There you go.
That's it. That's a simple solution to something that can be an overwhelming sense. The tidying up piece, I think about that book that we won't mention by name necessarily, but the book about tidying up, and somebody told me once, if you don't respect yourself enough to keep your room tidy, then you don't respect yourself enough to keep other things in order. So sort of an internal order that comes from an external sense of presence. And we see that too. Sometimes when we talk with folks about their mental health, getting their environment under control, a sense of control can also create a sense of inner calm. So it's an awesome tip. Last question, when you think about being mentally well, being in a space that makes you feel happy, what makes David feel happy?
Ooh, I would say a place where there's a lot of light, a lot of natural light. I think of my bedroom, and specifically now, just because of like how I picked the house and how I picked the positioning of the furniture. I like to wake up with the sun all around me. And so if I can let the sun in easily, that's a big thing for me because I'm really tied to nature. But another thing too, just like bringing in plants, because it's not only something that calms me, but it's also a tie to my family. Like my mom, we always cared for plants when we were little. And so it's just a constant reminder of my connection to them. And I think too, if it's clean, I can think. If it's tidy, I can think.
So natural light, tidy, plants,
Yep.
David's happy space. Thank you so much. Those are great tips, and I think people could put to use right away, today, to be happy. Build yourself a happy place. Thank you. Quick reminder that self-care and tips for mindfulness are not substitutes for therapy. If there is something that is causing you unrest, discomfort, anxiety, or dealing with depression on a daily basis, please reach out for help in the community. Kindred Place would be glad to help you or to find you a place that's a good match for you. But please take care of yourself.